We used to say Psalms 19 often. I think we used to say it for New Moon. Was it New Moon services or Sabbath?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday service we used to say Psalms 19. Today is our Sabbath day. And one thing that Chris Ricardo said to the guys this morning is that today is the day, out of all the days in a month, or out of all the days that we're given, the Sabbath day is a day in which we should really focus on giving praise and thanks to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. Even when we're praying on the Sabbath day, as much as we can ask for things, as much as we can pour out our hearts onto the Lord and let him know our concerns and our problems and ask him for this and ask him for that, the most important thing we should be doing on the Sabbath day is just simply giving thanks to the God of Israel, thanking him for everything that he does for us, that he's continued to do for us. It's about praising his name and declaring his wonderful works, because as it was said this morning, we have every day of the week, every hour of any day where we can go to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and we can pray anytime. And it's sometimes just a joy and a pleasure to be in a Sabbath and just hear brethren pour out their hearts towards the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, and give him his reverence among the people, give him his praise amongst the people. And we wear our whites. The reason we wear our whites is because those saints, those angels in the heaven, as far as we know, according to our fathers, according to the scriptures, according to the few revelations of the righteous men and women in the Bible who can say they've seen or they've had some kind of dream, we know that white is the colour that the saints will come in. It'll be all white with blue borders. We know that, right? And so when we wear our whites, it's almost a representation to say, look, we are your children upon the face of the earth. We want to be like those heavenly hosts, those angels that stand with the Lord, who stand before the Lord, who are in the heavens worshipping and praising. We want to show that, look, Lord, we are thy people upon the face of this earth. Remember us too. Let us sing towards you. Let us, say our psalms. Let us praise you with all our heart, with all our mind, with all our body, with all our soul. And so we have this one day to do it, which is the Sabbath day, in which we separate ourselves from everyone else. And so to keep the Sabbath is always an honour. We should always make every effort to try and keep that Sabbath and to sanctify it and to keep it holy, because it's a token, it's a sign. When the God of Israel sees us keep the Sabbath, he remembers that covenant that he made between us and him, between our forefathers and us. So we've had some great lessons and some really great things spoken about today, with Aaron speaking about humility and talking about Moses. And it goes back to what I think I said on the Friday night. The scriptures say Moses was the most humble man. He wasn't weak, he was strong. He was a warrior. He would fight and kill the man and bury him in the sand. Okay? In today's day, be a murderer. But he fought for his people because he had compassion for his people, and he saw that his people were being oppressed, and it hurt his heart, it hurt his soul. Even though he's brought up in high places, okay, in Pharaoh's house, even though he was grand and had every riches, everything that we would desire materially, he saw the burden of his own blood and it hurt him. He saw the oppressors who he could have called family because he was among the Pharaohs, who was raised with Pharaoh's daughter. But it hurt his soul to see one of his own being oppressed, and so he killed the man. That was counted to him for righteousness. I'm not telling no one to go kill anyone. Don't do that to yourself. Don't put that burden upon yourself. But I'm talking about the heart of that man was known to be the most humble man. And that's why he was able to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt. Because he had that humility. What humility means to me, Aaron, is when you realize that your opinion, your thoughts, how you think things should be or how you think things should be done, you don't make that most important. You listen to those around you. And you humble yourself to listen and almost take counsel, and then use your wisdom then to make a judgment. Moreover, ask the God of Israel which way I should move, which way I should go. And so it's always a great thing if a humble person can lead the people of the nation. So remember that among you leaders, because I believe the God of Israel still does that. I do. Credit to Levi as the leader at this time. I'm watching Eli speaking, and it makes me very proud because he's the first one that was offered up in this nation. And it's a great thing when I see that you have a zeal to teach, you have a zeal to stand and represent who you are supposed to be and who you are, which is an Israelite. That is a great honor, and I take much pleasure in even hearing you say, you're right. You know, these people are privileged to be in your presence, and it might sound egoistic, it does, so don't say it a lot, right? But it is an honor that they can be in your presence, because your knowledge can save their life. Understand, the words you speak can save somebody's life. That's what we do here. When we give grace and we teach, what I say can save your life if you take heed. You have to do the work. You have to live it. But my one word, your one word outside can save the soul of many, many people when they return back to their God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the power that you have. That's the power that we have as a people. So I'm glad you're doing what you're supposed to do, Eli, in standing up and teaching. It's great. Your brother leading the way, which is great, because he's more or less one of the first children in this nation. Yeah, Levi's the first. I think he's like one of the first children within the nation. You are the first child in this nation, more or less, in the branch. Yeah, he's in this branch. And so it's all in its place. It's all good, see? So I enjoy that. I enjoy watching it because that's what we want. So let's talk about the scriptures. Thank you for asking questions. Lovely to meet you. Never feel ashamed. And if you don't understand still, continue to ask questions, okay? Because as much as many of us are passionate and we've responded to you, because we're passionate, we want you to understand. But everything takes time, and it's brilliant to ask questions. Don't say you understand if you still don't understand. It takes confidence, it takes courage. When you come here, feel free. If you still don't understand, that's okay. You'll get it. And your point was very, very good. The point that you made about that's teaching me something. So really good, and thank you for that. It's lovely to see you. All right. So what I want to do today is I really want to just focus on praising the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I want to praise him because I'm here, okay? So the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Now, I love when I'm home and I'm in my bedroom and I lift up my hands and I look up to the heavens. Because we wake up every single day, and I don't know if we take that for granted. My lesson is going to be very simple. The heavens declare the glory of God. What do we think when we think of that? When you wake up and you look up to the sky, do people wake up and look up? In your life, do you look up? Or do we just on our phones and are we looking up? How often do we think we look up now? Very rare, right? Yeah. I think we're so much in our lives, so we're so much in our heads. And I don't know if we actually look up. When I pray, I like to look up because I want to think, wow, the heavens declare the glory of God. And the firmament shows his handiwork. So tell me, Israel, what is the heavens? Can we see the heavens? I want you to talk to me. I said no. You can't see the heavens. Huh? You can see the sky. Everybody believe that? Everybody agree with that? Everybody believe that you see in the sky, you're not seeing the heavens?
That's what it's been told.
Yeah. No. So let me go on to verse 2 then, thank you. So day unto day, no, the firmament showeth his handiwork. So what's the firmament? If the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. What's the firmament? Huh? No, sorry, not mountains and that. Firmament, what's firmament?
Different layers, like sky, the water. So like you've got earth, hello, and you've got the ground. Beneath that you've got soil, the different levels, and then you've got the sky. Then you've got, there's something after that, and then there's another. You know what I mean?
Okay, thank you. Anybody else got a different view on it or a view on it?
Google says.
Well, I'm going to tell you that, but let me tell you before. Go on, Ari. People. Okay. The firmament is the water. Is that what Google said? Okay. Hold on. Yes, but let me finish. Firmament is water. Okay. What's in the sky? What is the sky made of? Okay, and what's beneath? Water. So you have the heavens or the cloud made of water. Then you have the sea. It's made of water. When he says the firmament showeth his handiwork, what does it say in Genesis?
When he created them.
What did he do? His spirit was upon the. His spirit was upon the water. Can someone get Genesis 1 out for me, please? His face was upon his spirit was on his spirit,
The Spirit of
God moved upon the face of the waters. So when the Lord was there, his spirit is there. It's black, it's a void space, right? And it's moving upon the waters. So where was the handiwork? What did he do? In creation. So I want somebody with the book of Genesis open, please.
Yep.
Okay. Read Genesis for me, please, darling.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit
Face of the deep,
and the spirit
waters.
and the spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
Mhm.
And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Thank you. Okay. So when we talk about the firmament, okay, he's got the waters, the deep. What he's done, his handiwork, so verse 2, and the firmament shows his handiwork. He took of the deep waters and he brought some up and he left some down. That's his handiwork. He's forming the earth. The firmament shows his handiwork. Every day you're seeing his handiwork because the sky is made up of clouds. The cloud in the sky is just water. And water comes in many forms. It comes in ice. Tell me the forms of water, guys. Rain, liquid, gas. Okay, look at him, school academic person. Yeah? Okay. So, now can I ask, do you see the heavens? The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. You're looking up and down, the waters beneath and the waters above. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So can we see the heavens, Sondel?
Yes.
Would you say the sky is the heavens? Yes, it is. You're looking up at the heavens all the time. Now, we know that there's depths and levels to the heaven. We say the God of Israel's on the seventh heavens. We ain't going to go there. We ain't seeing that level of heaven. But we are seeing and looking up towards the heavens when you're in the sky. That's why I'm always so fascinated when I'm in a plane. I'm always fascinated when I'm above the clouds. Because again, I'm at a very low level of some kind of heaven, but it's still the heavens. It's still that sphere of existence. I'm not on the earth. Do you see what I'm saying? Any questions? So when the scripture says the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament shows his handiwork, every day when you get up, Israelites, and you pray to the God of Israel and you look up towards the heavens and remember his handiwork, remember his creation, remember his greatness, okay? It says, day unto day, uttereth speech, and night unto night, show of knowledge. What does the scripture mean? Okay.
The sun, the moon.
What is the speech that it's uttering? So if you take a minute and you look up, day unto day utter of speech, night unto night show of knowledge. What is happening day unto day in the heavens? What are you seeing every day? We live by it.
Sun and the moon.
Yeah? So every day you're seeing
Or you're seeing
sunset,
you're seeing
daylight, and then you
night.
see it go down, yeah? Then you see the moon come up, yeah? And then you see it go down, yeah? Is that communication? Utter of speech. Is there a level of communication in that? Day unto day utter of speech,
Yes.
night unto night show of knowledge. Yeah,
Yes.
what's the communication for an Israelite then? How do we even know it's the Sabbath today? There's a level of communication because the day unto day utter of speech, the new moon told us it's the first day. Okay, it was in darkness. The first day is darkness. Remember, the Lord's Spirit was upon the deep and it was darkness. So the new moon is darkness, it's a black moon. Okay, so that's communication, it's uttering speech, it's telling us day unto day utter speech, night unto night show of knowledge.
Others will see the moon and think that's the new moon, but
Yeah.
they're saying
That's round.
they can see it as full.
Yeah, it's a full moon.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it's the Hebrew Israelites see that, and then you've got Muslims and that feel that that's the new moon
Yeah,
because they can actually see the moon.
They
but
see it
it's actually
differently.
nothing there.
okay. So day unto day, just imagine the Lord's creation and people are not hearing it. You're seeing it every day in the heavens. You know the birds know when to wake up. They're getting up. The birds know when to wake up. The bees know when to fly. They know when to come out of their hibernation. And we're not even looking up anymore. We're just in our heads, on our phones, on our computers, looking at each other. But yet the beauty of creation and our God, we only kind of really recognize it because we keep the new moons and the Sabbaths, and we know that we have to go by those signs. Okay, we're not seeing anymore. So there's a level of communication. So when it says day unto day utter of speech, it means the sun's risen, guys. It's bright outside. Oh, it's going down now, guys. Time to relax. Get ready for bed. Go to sleep. Okay, day unto day utter of speech. Night unto night, show of knowledge. It's showing the knowledge. It's showing us knowledge. Go to sleep. Wake up. They didn't used to have clocks. Did they? There was no 12 o'clock to tell you the time, 10 o'clock at night. You used to go by the signs.
Yeah.
Okay? So, listen, verse 3. There is no speech, no language where their voice is not heard. This is a universal language in the creation of the heavens. Everywhere you go, no matter if you speak Spanish, Indian, English, there is no speech, no language where their voice is not heard. Whose voice? Whose voice? Yeah, okay, God of Israel, via,
The signs.
thank you, via the signs in the heaven. Because everywhere you go, there's going to be daylight, there's going to be nighttime, there's going to be sunlight, there's going to be moonlight. Even when you go to, maybe when I was younger and we went to South Africa and there was no street lights, it's the moonlight. That's all you've got. It's pitch black. You're looking up to the moon. You have to look up. There's no street lights here. You better look up because you can't see nothing. Okay? So there's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard, and yet we're so distracted upon the face of this earth, watching TV, watching movies, watching Netflix. You see how the enemy of God distracts us from him. Many people now cannot sleep without the TV on. They cannot go to sleep without the light on. They cannot spend 5 minutes. Ask the children just to do nothing. They can't do nothing. Ask a child to do nothing. Just chill, just relax. Oh no, I need my phone, I need this. Da, 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 da. They're so uncomfortable with just being. They can't just be because there's so many distractions upon the face of this earth now that's cancelling out the greatness of our God. It's cancelling out the glory of our God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And that's what the enemy has done. He who's been given the earth to reign and to run the world, which is the one who wants to be God, he's making sure that all the attention is on the things that he wants the attention to be on. Reflection is one of the greatest things that any of us can do. Who likes to have a moment of silence for themselves? Put your hands up. Good. I love some silence. I know if a mouse is moving. Oh man, you know. Anyone, you knew. I know if a mouse is moving now. Like silence. I know the sound. I know. Because the silence sometimes, that's where you can think again. That's where you can really check in with yourself again. And check in with the God of Israel again. Please, Ricardo.
So with that, when you said that when the North speaks a language the West not heard, so that's where you can't be ignorant of God. Like, you know, like anywhere in the world, in the planet, the sun goes down, it rises up, doesn't matter what time, whatever, and it's only from God. And going back to Eli's lesson, which he ties in really nicely, that's why he said, I am, because of this reason why they knew that somebody made the heavens and earth, why is water there, all these stuff that happens is coming from this one God. So going back of when they knew from Abraham and all the stuff that happened then, they knew about the God, simple because of that one reason there.
Thank you. When you even go back to day unto day, unto speech, night unto night, show of knowledge, and this was said earlier as well, there's a law. Every creature, every existence on the face of this earth has a law. A plant is alive, a flower is alive. Yeah? It's breathing. A tree is giving you oxygen, giving you energy. It's alive. The sea is alive. Okay? The birds and the bees. And they're all living by the God of Israel's law. Every single one of them. Because the moon wouldn't come up. The sun wouldn't come up. That is a law that the God of Israel put there for them. What would we do if the daylight didn't come up? What would we do? We were expecting the daylight every day. What would we do if the sun didn't go down? We'd be like, what? Every creation follows a law. And we, human beings, are the only existence that do not follow the God of Israel's law, besides us who are doing our best to follow his law. And then the world thinks that we're crazy when we talk about a law. No, there's no law. Well, there's a law of the land, there's a law of the road, there's a law in politics, there's a law for everything else, but God can't have a law. And the lovely point that you made, Eli, boundaries. You said boundaries there to keep you. Not to go against you, but to keep you. That's what the law is. Sometimes we see it's, oh my goodness, it's too much of a restriction. No, it's going to keep you. It's going to preserve you. It's going to bless you. It's going to give you long life. It's going to give you jeopardy. It's going to give you happiness. But we don't keep the law.
And that's so beautiful because you can almost substitute the word law for word.
Yeah.
I think it's almost how you see
Yeah.
the God of Israel. You see him as, oh, God.
Yeah.
That's how you look at it. But
Yeah.
if you start to see him more as a father, you understand that, oh, this is my father's word. This is something that he's given unto me for my benefit, to keep me safe, to keep me protected, to keep me shielded. You don't look at it in such sterile and cold terms.
Yes.
Like the law.
It's a law and it's stopping you from doing this, it's stopping you from it's not it's your blessing, it's going to keep you. We need to maybe find ways to explain that using different words because they put so much negative on this law.
It's like I said, isn't it? The
Yeah.
speech, day unto day, uttereth speech and night unto night.
Show of knowledge.
So
Yeah.
that speech, that word is what is alive.
Yes.
Like, it's God's law, it's his word that is gone out into the world.
Yeah.
Is making the sun rise.
Absolutely.
And the sun set.
His word's gone out there and they've obeyed his word, and therefore everything's perfect as it should be. Only us. Only us. The animals hibernate, they come out, they know their season, they know what to do. Only us, the ants, they work together as a team and they build and they're tiny, tiny things. And yet they can carry something triple their weight because they work as a team. Only us, only the human race. And we are the only race. We're killing ourselves and we're killing God's earth as well that He created. Yeah, we're killing ourselves. Go and eat some food. Go to the supermarket. It's not food. They'll tell you it's not food anymore. They call God's food, or the God of Israel's food now, superfoods. How many superfoods did you all eat this week? Did you eat a lot of superfoods?
Yeah,
Superfoods. It sounds crazy, but the things that are grown from the earth, from fertile soil, things that are clean, made from God, okay,
The rivers
are called,
ready to run in.
yeah,
The same thing instead of all time coming back.
yes, yeah, emptying itself and coming back. If we were eating God's food, the ones that He put there, superfoods, every one of us would be 100% healthy. Yeah, we'd be healthy. We'd reach all our weight goals and all our health goals and our fitness. But we create our own stuff that are outside of what God created with chemicals, and we mix it with sugar, and then it's so addictive and it's so nice and we can't stop eating it because we don't have those boundaries. And then we complain that we're overweight, or we complain that our belly's hurting us, or we're sick, or we've got cancer, we're dying, because this is the world that we're living in. Too much temptation. Everybody's going to do their own thing, lean on their own understanding, and not just enjoy the simplicity of what the God of Israel gave us so that we could live. Okay, so let's go back to Psalm 19. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. At the end of the world. So their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. So we've spoken about that. In them have He set a tabernacle for the sun. What does that mean? In them. So if their line has gone out for the earth, but think about the hosts of heaven. I'm talking about the moon and the stars. And believe me, the stars have families. Believe me, the stars have names. Believe me, they have certain alignment and constellations that they're supposed to be in, and there's certain details that we wouldn't even know the way that God has put it all, the God of Israel has put it all. But we see it. Now we don't see stars so much. You go to another country, you get to see stars because we've got so much pollution. Okay, we don't get to see. We've got the clouds are so cloudy, we don't get to see it. But their words have gone out through all the earth. So no matter where you go, their words, you know what I'm saying when I'm saying their words, the signs, have gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them now has He set a tabernacle for the sun. What does that mean, guys? Setting a tabernacle for the sun. Because we're saying psalms, I want us to understand the psalms that we're saying. This is a psalm that is glorifying the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. It's showing you His creation. It wants you to see the depth of His thinking, the depth of His creation, which we can't completely comprehend. We can't completely comprehend. If you think this is just one psalm that we say all the time, and within this psalm, it's like, wow, if you really went and did the research to what I'm saying, they'd be like, oh, man can't even work it out. Scientists can't work out the creation of our God yet. So when the scripture says, in them have He set a tabernacle for the sun, in what? Tell me about the tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom that cometh out of his chamber and rejoiceth as a strong man to win a race. The Lord has set a house for the sun. Has anybody seen where the sun resides? Have any of us ever seen where the sun resides?
What do you mean, where it is?
Yeah, the tabernacle. It's true, right? We don't get to see it. But it has a tabernacle, because if that sun is rising, going down, and you can say, oh yeah, but it's rising over here, we can see it in this country, and we can see it in this country, but it has a tabernacle. There's a whole world there for those constellations and that creation in the heavens. Imagine the tabernacle is a building, the tabernacle is a roof, the tabernacle is a dwelling place.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
So I was going to say to them, not to bring back that whole earth is round conversation.
Yeah.
And then that obviously proves, that obviously proves that that it does go somewhere and then it's put away, as opposed to like it constantly moving around the earth,
and
or the earth moving around, or which way it is.
And verse 4 says it, their line. has gone out through all the earth. You could say line in the sense of their children, like, okay. Because the stars, if you look at the scripture, the stars have names and they have families. They have lines in that sense. Or you can say the line has gone out through all the earth, like it's not a round earth, it's a line. Okay? So in them have you set a tabernacle for the sun. So the sun has a place where it goes, a tabernacle. We cannot see it, we cannot comprehend it. And when in verse 5 it says, which is as a bridegroom that comes out of his chamber, out of his room, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. Yes, he's coming out as a bridegroom now. When you're a bridegroom, you're getting married, you're coming out in your great glory, you've got the best clothes on, you're coming in the greatest attire ever. So imagine this is what the sun is doing all the time. He's coming out as a bridegroom, coming out of his chamber, and he rejoiceth happy as a strong man to run a race. Right, I'm doing my job now. I'm ready. I'm ready. That's what he's saying. He's going forth. We're talking about the sun. He's going forth is from the end of the heaven and his circuit. Now you can say it's circle. His circuit onto the ends of it. Still an end. Still an end of it. Yeah? And there's nothing hid from the heat thereof. You can't look up at that sun for too long. You can't hide from his heat when you're in a hot country and that sun is blazing down. So he's coming out like a bridegroom, coming out of his chamber, ready to run a race. Look at me in my glory. Look at me in my greatness. You can't hide from this heat thereof. You can't hide from the sun. Us in England, we pay for the sun. We pay. That's why we go on holiday. We pay to get a little feel of this sun, don't we? Because we can't get too much here. Okay? But if you look at how the God of Israel created the sun, how he created it, that it's out and it's going to do its job. And we do love what the sun does because it's called melanin. Yeah? Our vitamin D. That is something that we need to live, right? So, and everybody needs it and has some of it. So he's going forth from the end of the heaven in circuit onto the end of it. There's nothing hid from the heat thereof. So, the law of the Lord is what?
Perfect.
Thank you. Converting the soul. Understand the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. Because if there was no law, there would be no form, there'd be no world, there'd be no order. Yeah? The sea would not know its place. Do you understand? The sea would not know its place. It's going to come in and flood you every single day. When he separated the firmament, so he separated the waters above and the earth beneath, and he put the sea into its section and allowed earth so that we can be on the earth and have dry ground. That is all done by boundary. Let's call it a boundary, that's and Eli said. A boundary or a law. They don't go past. It goes in, it goes out. The tide goes in, it goes out. We can then know when to go in the water and when to get out of the water. We feel safe on dry ground most of the time. I know there's natural disasters because we're playing with the atmosphere. Okay, we're spraying things and chemicals into the atmosphere, and so it's having an effect on the earth. Okay, but if we didn't do that, we'd know our place upon the earth, and we'd be able to go on a boat and see it be all right sometimes, or in the plane, and not have to worry too much. Okay, but the law of the Lord is perfect. No. Converting the soul. Okay? The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. What does that mean? The testimony of the Lord is sure. What were we talking about there?
We want to be simple. The one word what I said is basic, simple. Just be wise.
What's the testimony when we give a testimony? So a testimony is like our story sometimes. Sometimes we stand up and we give a story of something that's happened to us, right? So when you think about their testimony is sure, making wise is simple. What is their testimony that I'm talking about today? What and science? Let's think we're talking about science. The things I'm talking about is almost science or biology. It's a testimony. You can't deny the way the Lord created things. Yeah, okay, the science behind things, or the biology, how he created the construct of the human body, what the woman can do and how she can give birth and how a man is made different. It doesn't matter if you call a man a woman a man. You can't deny the testimony of a woman, original woman born. She's going to be biologically, there's evidence, right? There's facts in the sky, the heavens, and if you look at the stars and the way things are laid out, and you look at the trees and the plants, that's a testimony. So it's saying the testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. So even in this, you don't have to be so... You can be simple-minded and understand what I'm trying to say. The God of Israel's laid it out for us. It's there. You can't even deny creation. But what they do is they distract us from it. Okay? So this is what it's saying. Every day, the heavens are declaring the glory of God. Every day, it's declaring the glory of God. Until he decides to be done with this earth, it's declaring the glory of God. Okay? The statutes, yeah, Sam?
1 plus 1.
Yeah, 1 plus 1 is what? 1 plus 1 is 2. So let's talk about the statutes. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing in the heart. What's the statutes of the Lord? Okay, what's a statute on earth? Somebody Google statute and tell me who has statutes. Tell me about statutes, please. Because this is not just the statutes of the Lord, the statutes on the law of the land. What's a statute? Someone tell me.
It says an act of parliament.
An act of parliament.
The law made by the UK Parliament.
See? A statute is a law made by the UK Parliament. So how come they're saying that there's no, that's a statute? The UK Parliament has statutes, yeah? But the God of Israel originally had statutes. So today when we keep the Sabbath, what was we keeping? A statute. It's a statute. It's our way of life. It's our spiritual way of life. Why are we keeping the Sabbath day? Yeah, why? It's a law. Why has God of Israel said to keep that law? Why? Why has he embedded that into our culture? Why? To keep the Sabbath. What's the benefit of the Sabbath?
It's the more time you can accept that gates of their heart are open. The gates are open.
Okay, thank you. The gates of the inner court are open. What did you say, Sean?
It's the ultimate time you can speak to him.
It's the ultimate time you can speak to him because he's resting.
That's the day
Yes.
sanctified and made holy.
The day sanctified and made holy. So, and I always say this, look, he created the earth in 6 days. He rested on the 7th day. We're just our Father's children. We know he's resting today. We're hanging out. We're spending time with our God. That's what we're doing. Why do we not want to spend time with our Father? Everything that worships the God of Israel, every seen and unseen being is spending time and resting and acknowledging the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob on the Sabbath day. We want to be doing the same thing. We want to be a part of that. We know he's resting today. All the other days, what do you think he's doing? Potentially.
Not resting.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Believe me when I say he's trying to create the new world for us, because this world is corruptible. It's dying because we did not follow those boundaries. We did not follow the law. They're killing this earth. So he's going to create a new world for us and those of us who are going to be found worthy to be a part of that kingdom. Today he's resting, and I say to my children, I say, look, we've got every day to work, to study, and I don't always keep the Sabbath the greatest, but work, study, play, every single day. He's asking for one day to rest. I said, this is the most powerful day. If I'm studying for something today, I should be keeping the Sabbath day because I want to pass my exams. And I'm working hard, but everybody else is working hard, but everyone's not keeping the Sabbath. All those people out there, I said to Tricia, you're doing gymnastics. They're all doing gymnastics. They're training harder than you. No, but it's true. They're training harder than her. Them Chinese people. Won't try it then. Them Thailand people. They're working, and it's not an easy spot. What's going to make you different? Because you're going to keep that Sabbath day. You're going to worship your God and give him thanks and ask for praise and get that edification. That's what you're doing different to everybody else. That token between you and him. Between us that make us who we are. That make us those who are called. Us. Yes, we want to do that because that's our thing. That should be our precious. I'm giving this out thing. No, you know what I mean? You think, okay, but I don't. My God, it's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to our soul to be able to do these things. And I know we're living in a world where there's distraction and there's other things going on, and our minds are talking to us, and there's all this stuff going on. But remember, the statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. Okay? So let it rejoice your heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure. The commandment is pure. So give me the commandments. Tell me a commandment, Shishu. Give me a commandment.
She said she's
Okay, thou shalt serve no other gods before me. Do you see how he is? I just think he's so good. He said, serve no other gods before me. You look, you have a, you, I should maybe my mom. But we say, serve no God, let me not do it. Because I was going to say, like, we say, if you're my friend, you're just my friend. Just my friend, you're just with me. Or if you're my man, you're my man. You're my woman, you're my woman. Which, okay, fair enough, now. But it's my, but the God of Israel didn't say that. He said, serve no other God before me. He said, put me first. He didn't say you can't talk to no one else. Did he say that? He didn't say you can't talk to no one else. He said, serve no other God before me. And I'm not saying, but do you understand the difference? He never said, look, you want it. He said, serve not, I'm first. I'm number one. That's what he said. I'm not telling you to go out and serve other gods. What I'm trying to say is, he's not even saying, you can't. Yeah, don't like other things. Don't like other things. Like, yeah, he's not saying that, is it? He's saying, know when to put me first. I'm number one. Then you can do everything else in proportion thereafter. So, okay, I'm your bestie. I'm your number one. Yeah, because I'm your bestie. But you can talk to that one over there and that one because they're cool. But remember, when I need you, I need you. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. He's not saying cut off everything else. He's not saying to us as Israelites, don't live your life. Yeah. He knows we're on the face of the earth. There's many gods. There's many things that are going to lead to temptation. As we said this morning, whatever you put your attention on could be like a god. Whatever you put your attention on. So, if you don't keep the Sabbath day, you're doing everything, and you're just studying, oh, I want to make some money, I want to be rich and I'm older, so I'm going to go to school, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to do. But you didn't even keep the Sabbath, you didn't even keep the new moon. Then you're putting all of that before you might as well make it a God unto you. You see what I mean? So, but he didn't say that. He's so fair. The God of Israel is so fair. He asked for one day. He didn't ask for every day. He asked for, keep the Sabbath day holy. Every other day, do things within season, do things within measure. And that's what I like about my God of Israel, because I can live a good life still. You know, but I know, put my God first, number one. That's it. Follow him. And it's a joy. No, he didn't.
One day,
yeah.
That's when you should put everything on your bit opportunity, because that's your time now that's communicating with him and giving chance for what he has done for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know I get worried because oh my goodness, I can be tested. But I always say, look, work to reach your goal. So they say, work, make money. But I believe you can work every day and make money. But you don't come on that Sabbath day. I'm just using it as an example. I think by coming on that Sabbath day, it's worth more than 14 days of working. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, say I'm making money every day, I'm working, getting paid every day. But I believe coming to that Sabbath, I'm not saying I'm here for money or anything, but I believe the blessings that can come with that, just that commitment to the God of Israel, can override any of the other work I'm doing. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're putting your prayer, your supplication, and you're loving your God, man. You're giving him that praise, you're giving him that thanks. So I'm just saying, just follow the Lord. The law of the Lord is perfect, convert the soul. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. So remember, we have many fears. Fears that stop us from achieving our goals, fears that stop us from doing all sorts of things. But the only fear that is really clean is a fear of the Lord. It's clean. If you fear the Lord, it's clean. It's good. It's good. Okay? Enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. Tell me what that means. I ain't got much time. When he says the judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether, what does it mean? And I'm swiftly going through this. There's so much more. This is what's a judgment? Break it down. Because how can the judgment of the Lord are true and righteous altogether? It's the judgment of the Lord is true and righteous altogether. What's the judgment of the Lord?
For me, it screams
It's
about.
breaking the. Oh, sorry.
No, because I actually wasn't gonna ask that question.
It's judgment is obviously it's something that's in place, yeah, and if you break that judgment,
So yeah, judgment is something in place, and if you break it,
you
it's
break it.
okay. You're breaking the law. Yeah. So then, if that's the case, the judgment is true and righteous altogether.
So all these
Let's go to verse 10. Yeah. So that's right. Okay. But it's more to be desired are they than gold. Yes, the much fine gold. Sweeter also than the honey on the honeycomb. What's to be desired more than gold? The judgments of the Lord. So how is the judgment of the Lord sweeter than the honey and the honeycomb? How? How does that make sense? How is the judgment of the Lord sweeter than the honey and the honeycomb, guys?
I think if you follow,
Easy because you've been considered in a way. You've been considered even.
Would you desire the judgment of the Lord?
Yeah, that means he's seen you. He's looked at you. He's considered your ways, and you can say whether you did right or wrong. It's his side.
Yes,
So
yes.
of course you would desire the judgment.
More than gold.
Yeah.
You desire the judgment of the Lord more than gold. Sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. Yeah? Okay?
I was gonna say that just going over it, I think that yes, because with everything that has been said up until this point, if you keep all of that and adhere to everything from verse 1 to where we are now, the judgment that will fall upon you will be good. And that good judgment is to be desired more than much fine gold. And I like that true and righteous altogether because it screams to me the difference between fair and equal. Because many of us think that equal, we're so focused on equal, but
It's a lie.
it's not about equal, it's about fair.
Yeah.
Because if one family has 10 people in it and one family has one person in it and you both give them a lamb, that one person's eaten for months, the other house is going to be done in a couple of days.
That's it.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's it. And that's the trick of the world telling you about equal rights. No such thing as equality. Number one, they don't live by it, but it's a rubbish policy. It should be about fairness and equity. 100%. So, lovely point, Teacher Jaden. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether, more to be desired are they than gold, sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. That if you're doing what you're supposed to do. What happens then if you're not doing what you're supposed to do though? Because as Israel, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. So the judgments that fell upon us was like slavery. It's like we're now the oppression that we go through nowadays, the struggle that we're still going through. That's the judgment of the Lord. Should that be desired more than gold?
Yeah.
Sweeter also than the honey. How could slavery be sweeter than the honey and the honeycomb? Why am I desiring that judgment?
I don't want that judgment.
I don't want that. So what is the scripture saying?
no,
Is it simply what Teacher Jaden is saying?
the thing is, you had an option. You was given an option. So
You was given an
So
option.
at the end of the day, you took the wrong option. That's why you're punished. So
Yeah, okay, it was no longer sweet, it's now bitter. That's why we're having Passover with the bitter herbs. Yeah.
Should it still be desired more than gold because it allows you to correct yourself and look at what you've done wrong and how you are given a chance to change that. So, but if you weren't punished, you would never know that it was wrong. But with the punishment,
Yeah. Perfect. Brilliant. Did you hear that? That was really good. Yeah, absolutely true. I want to hear from you. Brilliant. Yeah.
You should choose the overall goal because The definition of a judgment is the ability to make considered decision or come to a sensible conclusion. So you just have to
Say that again.
or come to a sensible
The one
conclusion.
before that.
The ability to make considered decisions or come to a
To make
sensible
considered
conclusion.
or come to a sensible conclusion.
So I feel like obviously all of God's judgments are sensible conclusions.
Sensible conclusion.
It's the conclusion he gets from how we act towards him. So
That's why I said we need to be considered.
Good. Good. Okay, Siobhan, yes.
I was also going to say that.
The decision part.
Yeah, I was
I was also going to say that, and that speaks to even the wisdom of David, because he saw the
Thank you.
judgment of God rather than to
I was
have
gonna say it.
3 years of. Oh, was you going to?
No, but say it now. It's
So
not
rather than to have 3 years
Yeah.
of famine or 3 months of your enemies killing you. No,
Yeah.
I'll take my judgment from the Lord.
Yeah, thank you. So the story of David, where he chose to take the punishment from God, it's principle. It's principle as well. Who the hell, like anybody else, to punish me or judge me? I want to be judged by my God. Even though he's great and he's terrible, I've got to go. Even though he's terrible, even though he's scary, like completely scary, my Father will love, if he has some love for me, which he will, some mercy, he's my Father, right? So I want my Father to punish me, not somebody who don't give a damn about me out there, who don't care, who's not going to have no mercy or no consideration. And obviously I haven't got time, but even in his judgment, and we can't go into it, but even when we sinned, okay, even when the law of Moses no longer made us perfect, and it was almost outlining our death. Because we was going against the law of Moses, we didn't do what we were supposed to do, the punishment consequence was death. What did he do? Because the enemy of the Lord is death. Because through the law of Moses, we're going to die. Because we did not keep that law. So we was on to death. Like, that was our, what's it called? Our end game, death. There's no chance. But what did the God of Israel do?
Sent us his son.
Thank you. He sent the Christ, yeah? Jesus the Christ, made a sacrificial lamb for us so that he could defeat death, or the law in which would bring death. And he perfected it. He perfected it. He perfected the law. He fulfilled the law so that we can now pray in his name, right? In the name of the Christ. We pray in the name of the Christ so that we don't die. So he's now that sacrificial lamb. So he's turned it around. That was his judgment, because he knows we're finished. But he said, all right, I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to even send my only begotten son so that these people have a chance so I can defeat death. Because that's what Lucifer wants for us. That's what the enemy wants. We're not supposed to survive as Israelites. So look at the judgments of the Lord. He had to take his own, because someone had to suffer. Someone had to suffer because it was a natural consequence, right? If you drink bleach, what's going to happen to your body? You're going to die, or you're going to be poisoned. It's a natural consequence.
If not coronavirus, then may be the worst case.
But there's going to be a consequence for actions. But even in his judgment, and this is the mercy of the God of Israel, I want you to see that he sent the Christ, because we're supposed to be dead. Okay? So his judgments are true and righteous altogether. Sweeter also than the honey on the honeycomb. Moreover, this is what you've just said. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned. Yeah? And in keeping of them is great reward. So in other ways, you kind of said that. Okay? Moreover, by them is thy servant warned. And in keeping of them, as Teacher Jaden says, there's great reward. That judgment, you've got everlasting life. You've got things that money can't buy. Who can understand his errors? Who can understand the God of Israel's errors? I almost feel like he's being gaslighted every day. I almost feel like the enemy Lucifer is trying to make him wrong every day. Like, just even, I always use food. It sounds like a silly thing I'm saying, but even in food, I make my food taste nicer than your food. That's why everyone's dying. You know, with cancer, because I'm addicted to sugar, you know, and I want to be healthy, but the superfood of God's food is no longer tasting so nice. It's always just trying to go against him, like, the opposition. In everything in life, if you look, making things look good. Oh, it's like you might make the first mobile phone, Nokia, and then somebody comes and makes an iPhone, what are we on now?
14.
iPhone 14. And the person who set the foundation don't get no credit. The person who set the foundation don't get no credit. The original gets no credit because everybody else is now trying to do better than that person. But you could do nothing if that wasn't set for you. You couldn't be great because he made you, so you couldn't be great. But we don't give back to the God of Israel. We look at our greatness now, look what we can do now. That's why I always say, and people say, remember where you come from, remember who you learned from, remember those who were there, because it set a platform for you. Remember the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because it don't matter what people are creating and doing now. He set the platform for everything. Secondly, they can't even do better than him anyway, they're killing themselves. Okay, so moreover by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Moses nearly corrected him at one point, and he got punished for him. What did Moses say? If you kill all these children, if you kill them, what's going to happen? Pharaoh's going to laugh at you and say, you killed your own people you pulled them out to die. You called them out of Egypt to die. What happened to Moses for saying that? Did he get to see the promised land? No, he didn't. The Lord knew, and he said, I'll save them because of you, but someone, who are you talking to? Yeah, isn't it? Because there's an order. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's all right, because I still believe if you even look at Job, and nobody wants to go through what Job went through, and Job didn't do anything wrong. But the Lord knows how to put back. He can take away, and nobody, I can't imagine Job's situation being taken from children and all that, but he can put back and make it even greater than before. So prefer the judgments of the Lord, because he can throw down, he can rise up, he can kill and make alive. He knows you more than you know. You think you can't get back from a child dying. I can't. My child, how am I going to get back from that? But somehow Job did. He got more. He was great. He felt he was happier than before. So how does that happen? Do you know what I mean? But God knows how it happens because he created us. So that's it. So who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins, and let them not have dominion over me. What's presumptuous sins, Israel? What's a presumptuous sin? ASAP, what's a presumptuous sin? When you know you're not supposed to do something, but you're doing it anyway. Yeah? Yeah? A presumptuous sin. I do it a little bit sometimes with food. Sorry, confession. Pizza the other day, and they're like, oh, I can't eat the mushrooms, I'll just take the mushrooms off. And I was like, oh. Anyway, presumptuous sin, let them not have dominion over me. So don't have too many presumptuous sin. Yeah? Because you said it, someone said it this morning, we don't get our punishment right away. I don't know who said it, but we don't always get our punishment right away, so we think, we'll just do this, we'll just do that. Yeah, you said it yesterday, right? So presumptuous sins, let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgressions, which is sin. And what's the greatest transgression? We talked about it today, every teacher spoke about it today. What's the greatest transgression? Serving another God. Serving another God. Not putting the God of Israel first. Serving another God. And just think of how much you put into the nation and how much you don't. Is it more than you put into this, more than you put into that? I'm just saying. And I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the word of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. The God of Israel is our strength, and he's our Redeemer. He's the one who will save us from our enemies, save us from ourselves, save us from whatever corruption. He is our Redeemer. So there you go, guys. Psalms 19, just to break that down for you. Remember, and you all know that because that's why you're here today. We're worshiping the greatest God that there is. Let him be your strength. Let him be your might. Hold on to him like a rod. No matter how you feel, no matter what somebody said, no matter what somebody did, no matter what, hold on to the God of Israel.